We welcome everyone to this morning's hearing on oversight of the Department of Justice, and we welcome our witness, the Acting Attorney General of the United States, Matthew Whitaker. In a meeting with the Acting Attorney General's senior staff, ethics officials concluded that if a recommendation were sought, they would advise that the Acting Attorney General should recuse himself from supervision of the special counsel investigation, because it was their view that a reasonable person with knowledge of the relevant facts likely would question the impartiality of the Acting Attorney General, close quote. In other words, even though you apparently did not ask for their advice on this topic, these career officials went out of their way to tell you that your many public past criticisms of the special counsel's investigation were grounds for you to step aside. In other words, even though you apparently did not ask for their advice on this topic, these career officials went out of their way to tell you that your many public past criticisms of the special counsel's investigation were grounds for you to step aside. They insisted that your recusal would have been right for the department and good for the country. They gave you this advice with no guarantee that their jobs would be protected, 2 years into an administration distinguished for firing officials at the department and the FBI who offended the president. Before you joined the Department of Justice as Chief of Staff to former Attorney General Sessions, you were the sole full-time employee of the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust. The organization has been described by Republicans as, quote, a chop shop for fake ethics complaints, unquote, against Democratic politicians. 1 month before you joined the administration, you wrote a column titled, quote, Mueller's investigation of Trump is going too far, unquote. You stated that the investigation was, quote, a lynch mob. You warned of serious consequences if the special counsel were to examine the president's personal finances. You suggested that the special counsel's budget should be squeezed until his investigation, quote, grinds to almost a halt, unquote. Like everyone else at the Department of Justice, you are entitled to your own political opinions.
I actually wanted to ask you some questions regarding what you did prior to being acting AG. It's my understanding that before you moved to the Department of Justice, that you were the executive director of the Foundation for Accountability and Civic and Trust.
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order. Mr. Chairman.
Mr.
Chairman, I have
fact
a
is
point
a
of order.
Conservative ethics watchdog where he
order.
made full use of the opportunity to call for investigations of multiple Democrats.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
My point of order by the very statement from the gentlelady is outside the scope of an oversight investigative hearing on the Department of Justice.
It is not. You need to let me finish my question and you'll see what I was asking.
The gentlelady will suspend. That is not a valid point of order. The gentlelady will continue.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order, Rule pursuant 10 of the House rules, that the question is outside the scope of...
The gentlelady has the floor.
Mr. Are you just going to overrun a point of order?
Yeah, because you're
Gentlelady will
state my point of order.
The gentlelady will suspend. I ruled that it was not a valid point of order, and the gentlelady has the floor. The gentlelady will continue.
Thank you.
I was not through with my point of order. Fill the ruling of the chair.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a unanimous consent request while we're waiting for this vote? Aaron, since when is the bias of a witness not relevant to anything?
When we look forward into this hearing today, it's time on this one, if this is the way we're going to go, then we'll have plenty of stunts. We're going to have plenty of theatrics. Bring your popcorn. I'm thinking about maybe we just set up a popcorn machine in the back, because that's what this is becoming. It's becoming a show. When your presence was here, you were coming voluntarily. You've always said you're coming voluntarily. But Mr. Whitaker, this is your life. Like the old TV show, they just want a piece of you. And with that, Mr. Chairman, pursuant to Clause 4, Rule 16, I do now move to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman?
A motion to adjourn has been made. Motions to adjourn are not debatable. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? No. The noes have it.
Roll call.
Roll call has been requested. Where's the clerk?
You want to give a speech about a waste of time?
The clerk will, if the clerk is here, she will call the roll. In that case, the motion to table is adopted.
Consent request while we're waiting for this vote.
Don't you think it's appropriate for the American citizens to know the full parameters of an investigation into the guy they made President of the United States?